and don't be. Hello, sir. Look different today, Corinne. Something changed? Yeah. Like haircut or something? I don't know. Something different.
Oh.
Morning, morning, morning.
Okay.
You go ahead and get your Zoom over, sir. You go ahead and get in and get in. Come in and get in, folks. Whoa! Who is this? Oh man! Oh happy day! What's going on, sir? Oh, come on now. Let's not be copying everybody's answers. Let's get our own answers. Good answer. Still. Make sure y'all get in and get logged in. We have a video. Really, Williams? You gonna say it the third time? Thank you, Congress. Switching up a little bit. I appreciate that.
Dang,
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm not saying you don't, but I'm just saying don't put the same thing every morning. Hey, you get it. Yo, you missed a lot. In this class, we discussed civil liberties. So we went through a lot last time.
That's tough.
And we missed you. Oh. Hello. He shoots. He misses out in the hallway. Is that on video too? Hello. I didn't get the coat message today. Wearing coats. Get a message. What? Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm actually leaving the door. Phone. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh. And there is the veil. Pentatonics put out sing-along videos this week, as if you can sing along with them effectively. That's like what I'm not trying to have folks do, is sing along with Pentatonics. You just listen. Let's see here. Where is the chat? Where is the chat? There it is. I pulled the chat. That should let y'all in. That'll work. Oh, sorry. How in the world did it get to just one person? Sorry there, Jaden, you're not even in the room here, sorry. I clearly selected that, but since the message came in, switched. That is what I was trying to type, sorry. Yes, I got your message as well there, ma'am. Okay, in the classroom, who we got? We got Bars is here, Cooks here, Frost is here. Garcia, I haven't seen Daisy in a while. Malachi, Rose, hold on. Malachi, Karen, Jaden, just FYI, man, they said, okay, if you're gonna be virtual, you guys, hey, parent, go ahead and put you virtual. Otherwise, I gotta mark you absent because you're not actually here. And I already explained this. It's for accountability purposes. Yeah, they don't have it here though. That's what I'm saying though. They'll, okay, it's all good. They'll figure it out. I'll put it on here though, okay? I'll put it on here. They didn't put it by your name though. It's all good. Harris is here, Johnson is in the building, Lee, Rose, Robbins, Willard, Williams is online here, I see you, and then Young, okay. And then online, we have everybody leave, almost, let's see, real quick. Do we have, yep, we have, yep. And Zach. Okay. Macon. Oh snap. Don't have Lamar yet. Okay. Or do we? I'm blind. Yep, we do. Yeah, I'm blind. Okay. Don't have John's yet. What was that? Sure. Yeah, so I just almost marked a lot of y'all absent because I was going by the wrong letter in your name. Okay, we'll come back to that. I'll check it again in a second. So the question was, what two elements are needed for groups to work together effectively? Would you believe somebody last class said fire and water? They actually gave me two elements. Huh? They didn't read the whole question. They said, two elements. Okay, so the most of y'all put down the answer that I was expecting, and that is communication. Because we definitely need communication in order to work together. Teamwork, positivity, that's a good one. Collaboration, compromising. I copy your message there, sir. Positive attitudes again, ideas. My new thing about working together is the whole vibing thing you see on the TikTok videos. I just want to follow with you. That's my whole work together thing now. Just if y'all do that, you're gonna be just okay, right? Okay, so stop that. We are going into interagency cooperation. That is today's topic. This week's next few days. We're talking about interagency cooperation, and that's why I posed that question. Now, we're going back to something we haven't seen in a little while, which is we're going to actually have a video to watch, and then the lecture. There won't be a PowerPoint this time, so it is even more important, more essential that y'all pay attention to the video and the following lecture. That way your assessment will be so easy. I mean, really, you just pay attention to the video and then listen to the short lecture. I guarantee you have everything you need for your assessment. Okay. I did an experiment last class, and the results were kind of unfortunate. So hopefully, fourth period, y'all gonna do a lot better this time. Okay, I got faith in y'all. You're gonna do it. Knock out the box. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with interagency communication. Of course, it's gonna be an ICEV. For the fourth period, real quick. I'm gonna make the notes available to you, the worksheet, for anybody who does want to go ahead and do the your worksheet along with the PowerPoint. That's fine. So I'll make that available to you.
It's from ICEV?
ICEV, yes. I'm gonna uncheck a lot of these things here so there's no confusion on what you need, what you don't need. Vocabulary is there, the worksheet is there.
Is it still simple reading?
Nope, no, I'm sorry, it's not unlocked yet. Give me 1 second. It's gonna be called interagency cooperation when it is unlocked. So give me 1 second to make sure that only what you need is available. That way you won't be confused. There's a lot of stuff on here that you don't need to worry about right now. Actually, we have Google Classroom. We don't use that. Going through. And I'm clicking these things. Okay.
Wait, what's it called?
It's going to be called interagency cooperation.
Internet course?
It is, but it's not published yet. Here we go. And it's about to be published right now. So if you refresh your screen, you should see interagency cooperation. Everybody see that? Okay. I'm gonna go there on my full screen here, so I can also see it. And view lesson. And then is the worksheet, yes. Agencies and Public Safety worksheet. It was. Yeah, well, it is. Hey, guess what? Guess what? I'll run with it. I will run with it. Let's go. Okay, let's see how it goes. That's a new experiment. Okay, I'm all for that.
Wait, what is that something we missed?
Huh? Hey, just pay attention. Just pay attention. I'm just gonna, oh man, I'm gonna roll with it. If you were paying attention, you got it. Okay. I can't stress how much you should pay attention, folks. I was gonna say, yes, we're going to ICEV. All right. Pay attention. This it helps out so much. Okay, let's go. Bring the screen back up. Here we go. Make sure my sound's being shared.
It's a video.
I said that, yes. Going back to, we haven't done a video in a long time. It's a video, yes. Which is why it's key essential that you pay attention. Be a good time, make sure you're not distracted, folks. Make sure you have all your phone stuff put away.
Public safety is carefully protected. You can see evidence of the infrastructure put in place to keep you safe when you watch cars pull off the side of the road to allow a wailing ambulance the right of way, or when you read about the trial of a suspected murderer. Even being pulled over by a traffic cop when you are speeding is evidence that your country values the safety of its citizens. There are two branches of public safety agencies working together to keep the American public safe: emergency
Okay. I especially like that last line talking about how corrections officers' jobs are a lot different from a first responder, but they're still equally important in the grand scheme of things. And that is so true because I've never wanted to work in a prison or a jail. However, they are so essential. We do need them. So hats off to them. I do not want to work in a jail at all. Okay. A few notes from that video. Off top, they started talking about how the country that you live in shows it cares about your safety by having these services in place already. Just this morning, I spoke to a young student here at the school about his own safety. I've been in several discussions about this in the past. When it comes to traffic enforcement, people feel some kind of way about that. They're like, oh man, I was out here just writing tickets for nothing to get money. It's a money grab. But folks, if you don't remember anything about vehicle safety, wear your seatbelts, folks. Okay? When officers pull you over for a seatbelt, several of us have seen the effects of people who did not wear their seatbelts, and where they ended up, and how they ended up. And that's not something we want to happen to y'all. So even though it's a $15 fine or whatever, cars have come a long way to keep you safe. Airbags, crumple zones, everything else, seat belts. If you get thrown out of your vehicle, you no longer have access to those items, like airbags. You know, you're outside in the woods somewhere getting run over by cars. So wear your seatbelts, folks. Okay, so the public safety, two parts of it. You have emergency response, the first responders, which is like fire, EMS, the ambulance folks, and you have law enforcement. You have emergency response, and you have criminal justice. Criminal justice is the courts, correction, law enforcement as well, and public security. So you have two branches of public safety. All right, emergency services and criminal justice. Let's just go with fire for the beginning part. Firefighters. When firefighters arrive on the scene, let's say it's an accident or something. I'll give you one even better. No accident. Let's go with accident. There's a bad accident at North Oakley in St. Mary's. When they pull up on the scene, fire and EMS, fire and ambulance, they'll be the ones that will be providing that urgent care to the victim, okay, the person involved in the accident. If I were to get there first as an officer, I am not the one that's going to be rendering urgent care to you. I might put pressure on a wound every now and then, but when it comes to like broken bones and whatnot, that is not the responsibility of the officer arriving on the scene, okay? That's firefighters, that's EMS, okay? That's what they do when they get to the scene. As an officer, on an accident scene like that, I have two main responsibilities. Number one, I gotta investigate the accident. Number two, I gotta direct traffic, so there aren't more accidents, okay? Those are my responsibilities, not giving you urgent care. That's firefighters. Along with that accident, if there are fluids on the ground, like gas, antifreeze, oil, that came from that car, that collision, firefighters deal with those hazardous materials, okay? Because they're on the ground now. They didn't put the chemicals on them, or the dirt, or whatever, on those chemicals, on those materials, then the road would be super slippery and cause more accidents. So cause an explosion, exactly. If somebody were to throw their cigarette out there, cause a fire or something. So they deal with those hazardous materials. Years ago at a factory off of Woodruff Farm Road, they had a factory emergency and some things were catching on fire. There's a lot of hazardous materials inside these factories. That's what fire EMS will take care of, okay? So they render aid for urgent care, they take care of spills and whatnot. And one other thing you do, you always about firefighters helping folks get out of spaces they save animals all the time from creeks and whales and stuff. You know, they do that. They help folks in enclosed spaces, like even houses, of course. That's an enclosed space. There's a fire, that's their job. They go in there, they get you out of that enclosed space. All right. When it comes to private security, have any of y'all ever seen the movie called The Accountant?
Yes,
Who said yes?
I have. Maybe.
It has Ben Affleck in it.
I don't know what people's names are. I honestly say.
Well, he's an accountant, but there's one part in there where he's hired to do a job, but then his another guy is hired to protect the guy that he has to go after. Private security. Okay. Their whole job is to protect that one man. All right. Cell phones that are face up are a distraction. You might want your cell phone face down, folks. Just saying. I'm not referring to you then. Okay. But their whole job was to protect their client. That's it. That's the whole job. Years ago, y'all know who J-Lo is?
Yeah.
J-Lo?
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez. I actually was in the same elevator with her one time in a hotel down in Ocala, Florida. Her security walked in the elevator. It was me and the officer in there, and she had 4 guys with her. So like 8 of us almost instead of 4 to 7. 7 of us in this one elevator. But her security were on their job. Her private security, their only concern was her. So we're 2 officers sitting in the back of the elevator, and 2 guys are looking at us, and 2 guys looking at the front. So awkward. These 2 guys, no, we're in the back. We're in the back of the elevator.
Where was she?
She's in the middle, yeah, she's in the middle. But 4 guys, 2 of them were looking at us. Like really? What's up, man? What's up? How you doing?
He ain't
All
so
right?
bad, did he?
Huh? He spoke back. They didn't speak, but that was their primary concern. They, front and back was covered. They're looking at us, face to face. What's up? Okay, how you doing? Now, what we did not do, we didn't talk to her. We didn't talk to her or look at her because it was clear they were buried. And who do you think paid them to do that? Her. Her security is paid by their employer, okay? She employed them. She was their employer. She paid them very well. And they did a good job. Because we were scared to do anything. We were police, and we didn't want to do anything with this. How you doing? Good? That's Wednesday. All right. Huh? They spoke. Yes, they did speak back, but it's just like we could tell they were serious. Oh, no, they weren't about the same height. Yeah.
That would have been weird if they were just stare at you.
If they hadn't said anything, yeah, that'd been weird. Free, yeah, it would be weird. But for real, it was still weird because they were standing there looking at us. Like the door's that way, they're facing this way, 2 this way, 2 that way. Anyway, and then it was really awkward because they went to the top floor, to the suite level, and my room was on the suite level as well because I got to the conference, I got added to the conference late. So there were no more rooms in the hotel, so they had to give me a suite on the suite level. So the other officer had to get out on the level before that, and they were looking at me like, you ain't getting off? No, I'm going to the suite level 2. We all got off at the same time. That's kind of awkward. But yeah, so private security is paid by their employer, okay? Here in Columbus, Piedmont Hospital, you might see a sheriff deputy there with a black uniform, gun badge, radio, everything. But they're still considered private security for the hospital. They don't get paid from the sheriff's department or the city. They get paid by Piedmont. Their employers pay them. And their concern is Piedmont Hospital. Okay? Yes. That's a good question. Is it good pay? When I worked security for a celebrity's son's birthday party, yes, it was good pay. I was private security that day. Well, several of us were. Yeah, not important. All I can say is this. When it came time for us to go, he came up there and he was like, I just want to thank y'all all for keeping my son's party safe and everything. And he had lost his cool earlier. He got mad about something. He threw his top off and lost his chain. Anyway, he had in his pocket. And he paid us for like 4 hours of work, and then we were out of there. And you know what we knew it was time for us to leave? When this one artist showed up named Loon, Loon, when Loon showed up in a Chevrolet Blazer, and it smelled like a weed dispensary, the whole truck was like, oh man. I was at the front gate, I called Major, Major, it's time for us to go. Or we're gonna arrest the whole party. Because it was going to get smoky in there. That's when it's time for us to leave. They paid us handsomely. Private security, our employer paid us. Okay? That celebrity came out and paid us directly, okay? So remember that. Who pays private security? The employer. Okay, thank you. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Hold on. Where'd it go? No. I'm tripping. Sorry. What else was it that I gotta make sure that y'all get? Oh my goodness, folks. If you are ever stopped and you're given a citation, or if you're arrested, understand this, folks. It's not what you're charged with, it's what you're convicted of. Okay? It's not what you're charged with, it's what you're convicted of. You can be charged with a lot of stuff. But after you're charged, the way our great system works is you go to court, and then they determine your guilt there. Okay? Well, what do I mean by that? If you get stuck on the side of the road and you're getting a ticket, that's not the time to argue your innocence. You go to court for that. Okay? You're being charged, no doubt, for speeding, doing whatever they say you did. You get that ticket and say, okay, thank you, ma'am or sir. All right, have a good day. And you go to court, because that's what happens when you're charged, you get a citation. The next step is go to court. That's when they determine if you're guilty or not. Not on the side of the road, okay? Not in the store. I ain't do that. Time out. Go to court. Okay? It's not what you're charged with, it's what you're convicted of. So don't flip out because you get charged for something. After you're charged, you go to court. We've had folks do things on camera in front of people. They get arrested, they get charged with assault. And they go to court and plead what?
Guilty.
Not guilty. Because you go to court after you're charged. We all saw you do it. But the way our system works is once you're charged, you go to court. And they determine your guilt there. And I've seen folks who've done things on camera, go to court, plead not guilty, and they get off on it. They're found not guilty.
Can you get more trouble?
Because there was other things going on that made them do what they did, but you only find that out once you go to court.
Can you get more trouble if you go to court and plead not guilty, but they find you guilty? Can you get more trouble or the same amount?
Can you get in more trouble if you go to court and plead not guilty and they find you guilty? Yes and no. The judge might feel some kind of way. Example, you go to court for speeding. You get in there and they say, how do you wish to plead? Then you say not guilty. There were judges down there who say, oh. Were you going less than, equal to, or greater than the speed limit? The speed limit was 45. Were you going less than, equal to, or greater than the speed limit? I was going 50. Okay, is that less than, equal to, or greater? 50 is greater. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you again. On the charge of speeding, how do you wish to plead? Not guilty? Okay, I hear you're not guilty plea. Officer, go ahead on artifacts. That judge now is getting ready to throw the whole book at you. They're going to throw the whole court at you. because they're trying to give you a hint. If you were going over the speed limit, what were you doing? Why are you here for? So what should you plead?
Yeah.
Just saying. Now, if you have a reason why you were doing it, when it's your turn to talk, you say, hey, this is why it is. But when it comes down to it, if you're going over the speed limit, you were speeding. And that's not accurate still, folks, because you can still have a reason why. You can articulate. Yes. Question is, can you get a ticket for going too slow? Yes. If you're hindering traffic. Now, but I'm glad you said that, though. She said, guys, because old people be doing that. Folks, understand this. If you're blessed to live that long, that might be you one day. So please be patient when you see somebody who's driving like that, because they might have their slow reflexes, and they are often very fearful of being in an accident. They know they can't react as fast anymore, so they go slow. Because folks, there's not very many slow speed fatal accidents. Okay, I watched a whole compilation on TikTok the other day. I know I watched much TikTok. Okay, anyway, there's a whole compilation that's on YouTube as well of accidents, and none of them were low speed. They're all like the car out of nowhere, and everywhere is chaos. So speed does kill, which is why you have officers there running radar to slow folks down, because speed is crazy. But you can get it going too slow.
Why do you make cars go fast?
When you're on a road,
Choice. The question is
when you're on a road and it doesn't say speed limit, but it says the minimum is 40, what does that mean? Like, can you just go as fast as you want, as long as they're going lower than 40?
no, not minimum.
It says minimum. It says
Okay, but there's a maximum too. There's still a speed. Look it up. The question was, there's no posted speed limit. What's the speed limit? There's a law for that. Let's look it up. It's not minimum. In the neighborhood, it's minimum is a speed limit.
It wasn't in the neighborhood. It was like, I don't know how to explain where it was, but it was like there was neighborhoods over there, but it was at main road, and it just said a minimum of 40.
Look it up.
This is road over here called
Look at
13.
either the sign set minimum or the test set minimum.
Minimum, or the sign said it.
Okay, sorry. Okay, a highway, on a highway, it might say the minimum is 40, yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, sorry, yes, on a highway the minimum is 40, and the maximum is whatever it said. So the minimum is 40. There is a maximum, yes, there is a max. There's a limit, sorry, there's a limit. And the other question that was in the classroom here is, why do they make cars that go faster than the speed limit? That is a great question. And the answer to that is, it's your choice. You have that choice. There is nowhere in the United States on the public roadways you can go legally faster than 80 miles per hour. There are some segments in Texas, I believe, or those long stretches of road where there's nobody out there. You can go like 80, the speed limit. Nothing else higher than that. Anywhere.
It's a highway called, I forgot what it's called, but you can go as fast as you want on it.
That's in Germany, the Autobahn.
Yeah, that.
Okay? My point is this. That you can't go faster than 80 legally in America on roadways, but they make cars that go 160, 200 miles per hour. Because that is your choice. That's your choice. If you go faster, then you suffer consequences, and everybody else does too if you get in an accident.
What's it called? Texas was a weird one, because it's like, if we go 80 miles per hour, then all of a sudden there's like a 50 mile per hour sign. You just like slow down.
Well, you gotta slow down. You gotta slow down. Okay, folks, I don't want to get too far away with the discussion. I hope everybody was paying attention. If you were paying attention earlier, and some of y'all said, what did we miss? If you were paying attention earlier, you would have seen that the assessment was also available for you to do. You could have done the assessment while I was talking. And no, the actual assessment was actually visible. It was, but it's not anymore. That's why I said you were paying attention and you had brought it up. If you already clicked on it, you still had it earlier.
I know the restroom.
Not yet.
I have the worksheet.
What?
The worksheet.
The worksheet, answer the questions too. The worksheet.
No, I was saying that I never seen a section where it was all gone.
Oh, it was there.
Can you read
Somebody else saw it. What?
I messed up. Can you read open vocabulary? Like,
You should have unlimited attempts on vocabulary. You should. Yes. Yeah. Vocabulary in the worksheet, you should always get 100 because you can do it over and over again.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Also, folks, there's one thing I was going to share with y'all. Have any of y'all seen Judge Dredd? Judge Dredd. This goes back to the whole thing. Hold up. Pause. Frost. Were you supposed to do something? At 10:15.